Welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan, and today it is a great pleasure to welcome Mr. Bruce Jordan. Most of you know him from his hit hotel show, Management Do's and Don'ts. He is also a consultant, along with being the managing partner at Hotel Guest Management. Bruce has had a long career in the hotel space, and it is a great pleasure to welcome him to the show. Bruce, how are you?
I'm hanging in here. Glad to be here, Craig.
Thank you for joining us. Bruce, let's just jump right into this. How did you get into hospitality, and what made you decide to start helping the hotel community with your shows?
Well, I actually started off at a Hyatt in New Jersey. I started off as a temp, and I eventually became within a year I became the manager of the accounting department. That's what got me into hospitality, and I loved it. Just it just got into my blood. And from there, I had went to IHG Corporate. I had moved to Atlanta, went to IHG Corporate. Man, we're talking about 20 something years ago. This is when Steve Porter was the CEO. When I got hired, it wasn't even IHG. It was Six Continents, and it moved over within 6 months. It moved over to IHG, and that whole fiasco happened with Steve and them spinning off from Six Continents and creating their own brand. And I had, about 11 hotels when I was there. And after that, I decided to, just freelance, do my own thing. I went from hotel to hotel, doing different management positions, and I finally decided to say, you know what, it's time, just take my experience and share with, hopefully, especially during a pandemic, hope we can, something will help with what's going on, just trying to do my part.
Absolutely. Now, you did a contest. You had a few hotels in the Orlando area that were going through some renovations. And post-renovation, our friends at Aimbridge ended up being the winner, and congratulations to them. What was that like? Tell us about those shows. What were your thoughts and your planning process with that?
Well, the show actually kind of happened by mistake. I was some other videos, and my girlfriend, who's also my photographer, she said, you know what, you should. I like twice a month. I just check in the hotels, do my reconnaissance work, so I can see what I can take away from that property, and see what I didn't like, so I can capitalize on the weaknesses that they have that property. So we was doing our usual thing, doing our reconnaissance work, checking in the hotel, going through the whole process, so on and so forth. And she said, you know what, you should record this. And I recorded, and that's how the show was born. As far as the winner, when it came to Aimbridge, a lot of people don't know that hotel has like 136 rooms, and they went from like 36 employees to 6 employees, and
Wow.
didn't skip a beat. Like everything was clean.
Yeah.
They had the highest COVID standards that I've ever seen, and even at my hotel at that time that I was at. So
Yeah.
that's what really, pushed them over the hill versus and made them stand out versus everyone else.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was a great idea. And I love your shows, your do's and don'ts, and your social media tips and everything. If you're not watching Bruce's show, you should be. So find his page on YouTube, subscribe, and ring the bell. Pay attention to this man. He's doing a great job for our community. Um,
Thank you.
Bruce, as a content creator, you're always sharing great ideas. What's that process like?
It's a lot of hard work. It's definitely very time
Yeah.
consuming. You're up to like 2, 3 o'clock in the mornings most of the time, just trying to get everything just right. My main focus, I do Facebook. My main focus is YouTube, especially when it comes to the hotels, because it
Right.
creates a broader digital presence for that hotel. What a lot of hotels don't understand is that most guests, as soon as they finish looking at you on Google, they go right to YouTube, just so they can find anything about your hotel, especially when they're going to be staying more than 3 days. So
Yeah.
if you're not on YouTube, a lot of times you're going to lose the reservation to another hotel that is on YouTube. So I try to
Yeah.
make sure, at least for the hotels that I'm reviewing, that it gives them the content that they need. to make a sound decision. And 9 times out of 10, that is that one little thing that pushed that reservation for us that allows the hotel to capitalize on that reservation is the fact that they seen the video off of YouTube.
Yeah. I know our sister show, Check Out California, has been in hiatus since March of last year because obviously we're not allowed to travel, or I can't. But it was funny. We'd get, whether it was the GM or the DOS or somebody else, and I'd do an interview with them. It was like 3 questions, 10 minutes, and then we do a tour. And then one of the producers on that show hosted a segment called What's Around. So we were kind of, pushing the local restaurants and art galleries within a quick walk of the hotel as well. But vast majority of the time, every place we shot was absolutely beautiful and it was staged properly. But every now and again, we'd walk into a room that was just a mess. I mean, has that happened to you?
Yeah, it happened to me in one of my episodes, and I think they just got I think everyone's trying to recover from the pandemic and trying to reorganize operations because of what's going on, being understaffed. And when you initially do that, especially when you just open it back up, it's tough. It's really, really tough. Like every hotel has their flow, so you have to reset your whole flow all over again. And on top of that, you have employees that used to do one job, they're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs.
Right.
So there's what can you do? So I think that's how I walk situations where I probably have someone that's burned out. I walk to the room and there's no way that room should be looking like this. Not for a guest that's paying their money anyway. And it's tough. It's tough.
Exactly. Hey, you did a great interview with Raul at Virgin Hotels. Now, did you go to New York and film that? Were you at their headquarters?
Raul was in Miami, and I was telling him about the show that I wanted to start called True Hotel Leaders, because I feel that the managers and the supervisors and the line level employees at the hotels, they don't hear enough from the top executives. So I wanted to do a show where the top executives can give them direct advice and say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to handle it, and this is what we've done. So they know that, hey, they're being supported. They got someone at the top that knows what they're doing, that knows what they're talking about, and can, just communicate with them directly. So we get pretty much a list of questions that we want answered from the top executives on True Hotel Leaders, and let them give their knowledge, to the lower level staff.
Yeah, it's a great episode. Matter of fact, I shared your post on LinkedIn when I caught it there. So great job on that, by the way. Hey, my friend, we are out of time. So how can everybody get a hold of you?
Oh, you can email me at bruce@textguest.com. That's txtguest.com. We have a hotel texting software, and soon, probably about next week, we're going to be rolling out WeTipHotels.com, which allows housekeepers to receive tips with a credit card, because nobody carries cash anymore. So
nice.
That's how you can get a hold of me.
Can't wait to hear more about that. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I really appreciate you being a part of the conversation, and you've got an open invitation to come back and join us anytime you want. I also want to thank you, our audience, for joining us today. And please remember to follow us on LinkedIn, find us on YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell for update notifications. We're on all the social media platforms. One last thank you to our production partners, Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group, based right here in California. And as the title says, they're national. They can help you everywhere. And please remember, be kind, share your knowledge, go be amazing.